Measuring and fitting compression garments is not that difficult, but we totally get it. If you're looking at a compression garment size chart and it looks like that, that can be pretty intimidating at first glance. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to do to measure and find your size for most compression garments. Now, first thing first, this is not the best type of measuring tape. So let's grab one that's going to work. The one I'm grabbing here is just from Walgreens. It was in a sewing travel kit and it works just fine. Okay, we have our flexible measuring tape. I'm going to show you how to do a general circumference measurement. Circumference means all the way around. This is going to be on my wrist, but you can do the same thing, or the same idea applies if it's on your leg or anywhere else. You are just going to wrap the tape around, and the tape should be touching the skin all the way, but it doesn't need to be super tight. Most leg garments just need 3 or 4 measurements. If we are measuring for a knee-high or a calf-high type of compression stock or stocking, which would be the most common thing that we sell, those measuring points are going to be as shown on this diagram. But let me show you on the actual patient here. So CB is the ankle measurement. I am going to take that usually right at the smallest part of the ankle, usually right above the ankle bone. The next measurement is going to be the widest part of the calf, and that is going to be right about there. And then the last measurement for a knee-high or calf-length stocking is going to be the length. And you're always going to do this with your shoes off on the bare floor. And you are going to measure from just below the back of the knee straight down to the floor. So that will give you the length measurement. You don't want it to go up into the knee crease. That's not going to be comfortable. So measuring just a couple finger widths below the back of the knee straight down to the floor. And that's going to be everything you need for a knee-high or calf-high stocking. If you are measuring for thigh-high or pantyhose, the only additional measurements you'll need are the thigh circumference. So that's going to be the widest part of the thigh. You don't want to get into the gluteal fold here. So you're going to kind of do that like right about there. And then for wherever you take that measurement, really the top of the thigh, and again, just below the gluteal fold, I'm going to do the length. I'm going to pull there and go straight down to the floor as well. Foot garments have just a couple other measurements. So a lot of times they will still have the CB, smallest part of the ankle. The two other ones can be a little tricky. CY goes from the back of the heel right through this crease here. So you want it to come up through the crease and then back around to the back of the heel. So that's one of the trickiest ones we have to do, but I'm sure you'll get it just fine. And then the last one is that CA measurement, and that is going to go right at the base of the toes here. This is where I would normally go and go all the way around. Usually weight bearing is good for foot garments because your foot does spread out. So it's better to get the measurement to include the additional size that your foot has when it is under pressure. I have a variety of size charts here from a lot of the manufacturers that you'll be likely to encounter here. They look a little intimidating, but they really aren't too difficult. I also added some fictional measurements here on this side here. But the way to use any of these different size charts is just start by finding the ankle measurement. So the CB measurement, you'll see that's noted on these different size charts, was that ankle measurement we were taking at the smallest part of the ankle. Once you find the ankle measurement, it doesn't matter which manufacturer, you don't need to worry about anything to the left or right of that measurement. So right here, I have 9.5. You can ignore everything there. Ignore everything there. Same thing over here. 9.5 is going to be here. So ignore everything there. Ignore everything there. And same thing over here. 9.5 is going to allow us to ignore everything here. Ignore everything there. And the same thing over here. And I did these measurements in centimeters, but you can do them in inches as well. So we're going to ignore that and ignore that. So once you have that ankle measurement, all you can do is move up and down that size. And if you don't fit into the size that's up and down, just shoot us an email and we'll be happy to help you troubleshoot and find a product that's going to work for you. But once you have that ankle measurement, again, I'm doing 9.5. The next measurement we are going to double check is the CC measurement. That is the calf measurement. And all you are doing from here on out is just making sure you still fit within that size. So with the CC of 15, I do fit here as well. There as well, and there as well. Sometimes you will see an additional calf measurement they call extra wide or plus sizing. So again, you can't go left or right. Once you have the ankle size, you can only go up. But in a measurements chart like this, where there's a calf and an extra wide calf, if you are larger than that calf, go into the extra wide and make sure that you fit within there. And you'll see on the size chart or the size when you are picking out the product, there will be an extra wide option. And there you are. So you would still be in the size 4 here. And again, some of these measurements or some of these manufacturers use different notations for their sizes. So I have 1 through 7 in Roman numerals, small through extra large, 1 through 5 in Roman numerals, and then some letters here, MS, ML. Despite the differences in the names, it's all sort of the same idea here. With the thigh measurement, then we are also just making sure as long as the ankle and calf fit into the size, then the thigh does as well. The thigh measurement, there can be a couple different notations on that as well. So I have 25 centimeters as my fictitious measurement here. So right here, that one's good, that one's good, that one's good. But there's a problem over here. So this thigh with silicone top band only goes up to 24. Again, we can't go left or right. So all we have to do is look above. But it looks like it does fit if you go into a thigh without silicone or a pantyhose option on there. But usually if you get into those situations and you want something with silicone and it's not available, we have tons of products and we'll be more than happy to help you find the right product there. But whenever you're doing this, just remember you can only go up once you get the ankle measurement or down in the case of this size chart. And then the last measurement is the length measurement. So sometimes it's noted on the bottom here, off to the side, or in this case, it's part of the size chart there. So you're just making sure you fit within the ranges. A lot of times there's a couple different length options. Regular would be usually the longest length. Sometimes there's a tall length that's a little bit longer. And then there's either petite or short, depending on the brand. That's gonna be a little bit shorter. That's all there is to measuring and fitting compression garments. Just a couple different measurements and knowing how to use the size chart. At any point you have any questions, just reach out to our customer service and we're always there to help.